And that makes sense to me because I have two different nipples. And Ms. Biz can testify. Now, I'm not going to lift my shirt. I mean, I know this channel is called ShowBizz the Adult, okay? But I'm not going to be on here flashing people, all right?
Hi, this is Joe Cortez. You're watching ShowBizz the Adult.
Oh, this is Bernard Hopkins, ShowBizz the Adult. I'm out.
Oops, up off net. Up off net. You know that is hump day. And since it's hump day, I've been waiting on today to talk about the humps.
Do the Humpty Hump, just watch me do the Humpty Hump. Yeah.
And this hump.
People say, yo, Humpty, you're really funny looking.
That's right, the style bender's breast. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the Adult. All right, man, look, let's talk about the humps. Oops, all right, and look. First, I want to say this. You know, this is the second time I've been asked to look at nipples, man. And I'm getting a little tired of it, okay? It wasn't that long ago that I was asked to look at Errol the True Spence, his nipples. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a specialist on male nipples, but I give this a shot. ShowBizz the water. Room temperature? Look, the question is, the breast of Adesanya in that Paulo Costa fight, is it evidence of him being dirty? Maybe taking some steroids. And that's the ShowBizz the water, room temperature. Let's get to the video. You know, the funny thing about this is when I look at the style bender versus Costa, when I look at them just standing next to each other, it's funny that people are seeing this guy as the one on steroids. but all jokes aside, I remember Adesanya being a strong advocate for, you know, being an athlete against steroid use.
I'll tell you what, don't offer me no steroids because I'm snitching. Understand that?
That's right. That's what he told the schmo. He told him that he'll be snitching if he finds out that someone's on steroids. He's totally against it, which makes sense to me. I mean, he's practically right now fighting at the weight that he walks around at. I mean, he's a string bean. Everybody else, they are rehydrating after weigh-in. Look at Paulo Costa. Costa looks like a Hulk compared to him. They don't even look like they're in the same weight class. So I would think it would behoove someone like Adesanya to be against steroids, because not only is he a string being in that weight class, he wouldn't want somebody to be bigger than him and on steroids to face him. But with that said, you can't get around the fact that his pec looks a little bit more, how can I say it, packed with estrogen. And fatty nipples is a characteristic at times of someone who's on steroids. But in studying the picture, I saw a guy with one fatty nipple and one that's not a fatty nipple. And I looked towards the MD, Brian Sutterer, to explain this. And Brian said this.
Yep, and that can be from a number of different totally benign things, even things just like repetitive trauma to an area, which would make complete sense for a mixed martial artist. Hormones are circulating all throughout the blood, all throughout the body. And so the fact that this is just on one side makes that controversial topic even much less likely.
And that makes sense to me because I have two different nipples. And Ms. Biz can testify. Now, I'm not going to lift my shirt. I mean, I know this channel is called ShowBizz the Adult, okay? But I'm not going to be on here flashing people, all right? But one of my nipples is higher and chubbier than the other one. If you are, you know, doing steroids or some illegal drug, it wouldn't show up in one pec more than the other. So let's let's quit that noise, okay? Let's consider that one debunked, at least for now, until something else shows up. Now, let's talk about the hump heard around the world. Now, here's the thing about that. Paulo Costa, he didn't like that so much. He was unaware of it, okay? And this is what he told TMZ.
The human trash did after a fight. I didn't see when I was there on the cage, but I saw now. I am on hot of collision with you, Adesanya. I want my rematch.
I mean, the guy is so angry that his voice is trembling, okay? No man would like that to happen to them just in public for the world to see, especially when you just really hate this guy. And, you know, I kind of feel sorry for Costa. You know, Costa, it was a one-sided affair where Adesanya just one-sided him. But for this to happen to you, I mean, that's just like, gosh, bro, that's like, whoa, that's just overkill. And really, yeah, if I was him, I would want a rematch, okay? Now, it's going to be hard for that rematch to be in demand since it was such a one-sided affair, right? Though he did say that something happened before the fight, but I'm not going to say it's an excuse. And we heard this before, right? I remember Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder said something like that, like the truth is going to come into light later and something happened before the fight and I'm not going to talk about all those things, stuff like that. But for me, stuff happens before every fight, okay? And I've heard this many times from those warriors, from fighters. They've said that very rarely do they come into a fight 100%. So really, like he said, there's no real excuse. I mean, he just lost that night, and I don't blame him for wanting a rematch, especially a guy like Costa who's not used to losing at all. But to support Adesanya and, you know, that hump that he did, Adesanya wasn't a fan of being handed a white belt at the weigh-in. You know, I mean, it was Costa who had the black belt around his waist and disrespected Adesanya by giving him a white belt. I mean, at that point, you don't really know how that would affect someone, and you don't know what's going to come back to you. How many of you remember Adrian Broner versus Maidana? Adrian Broner humped Maidana.
He's going to have to get active.
And then Maidana humped Adrian Broner.
He's been knocked down twice, felt a lot of power.
And Maidana's hump was accompanied by a victory, so he had the last laugh. Costa tried to make fun of Adesanya, and then Adesanya beat him, and then had the last laugh. And when you play that type of game, you should expect anything. So I'm not sure how you guys feel. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. But I'm going to tell you guys this. The whole steroid noise, I'm not hearing. And on top of that, Costa won his rematch. I feel him. I definitely feel him as a warrior and emotionally. I'm not sure if the fans would demand that fight. But the way the UFC work, I think that he'll get his chance again if he keeps winning. ShowBizz the dope. Happy hump day, my people. I'm out.